to visit a friend, John, who just come out of hospital. And I could see all these kites in the sky flying around, so I thought I'd pull over and stop for a while and do a little bit of filming. It was a beautiful day, a lovely Sunday. There was lots of people around, lots of people sitting around watching them. And it made me think of friends and the value how friends have in our lives. When my wife died, it was my sons and my male friends that got me through that worst period of my life. And strangely enough, I didn't even like to be embraced by a woman. It wasn't my wife and I felt uncomfortable. It took me quite a time to get over that. But fortunately now I've got some wonderful female friends. And I know the value of having good friends. And it's very important to me. I've got a friend, Alan, who's flying over from Adelaide this week to stop with me for a week. And I go over there at least once a year. Me and Alan have been friends for almost 70 years. Now you think about that, 70 years. That's a long time. And it was 2 years ago that I went back to the UK to visit a friend, Joe, for his 80th birthday. Now I've known Joe since I was probably 7, so that's what, over 70 years, and we're still really good friends. I would say brothers. It really is special having friends that long. I mean, you've got so much history together that you can't get from anybody else. I mean, when we get together, we talk about stories of, do you remember your dad? He used to go down to the betting shop every Saturday. And every time I call around your house, the first thing your mum would say, you want a bacon sandwich, boy? It's so much history with those old friends, and it's wonderful. You won't get that with new friends. You can't get that in that history. I mean, all my family's dead now. And they're the constant thread between that past life and now. They're the only ones that know that. Do you remember when your sister got married and your mum was drunk and and your dad done his nut, didn't he? Yeah. And then I would say to her, do you remember when your brother come home from sea and what about when brother Ronnie had a heart attack and died and he was only... So they're special. So to keep those friends and have those friends near. I mean, I was watching a thing on YouTube the other day and there was a woman on there saying, my friends at 20, I broke up with all my friends that I had when I was 20. Friends? Give it another 60 years or another 40 years and find out who your friends are. After Irene died, I was back on the single scene. And after you've been married for 40 years, it's a strange place to go. Not a very nice place actually, wouldn't recommend it. But I was back on the single scene, so I met a new group of guys, nice guys. But they would go out hunting all the time. Their life revolved around hunting for women. And the women were the same. They was out looking for men, so it was the same. But as soon as the guys met a woman and made up, you wouldn't see them no more. That would be it. They'd be finished with you until they broke up. I mean, it worked out for some of them. A couple of them got married, and it worked out fine for some. But those guys wasn't friends. They were just acquaintances, just people you run into at a certain stage of life. But they wasn't friends. True friends, if you're lucky to have them, are people who actually care for you. They're there for you. As an example, now that I'm in my 80s, how much longer am I going to be able to keep travelling in the van? And it always comes back to the same answer, your health. I can keep doing it as long as I'm fit enough. So that's why I pay particular attention to working hard and trying to keep healthy. Now when we go travelling, the guys always say to me, look, how far do you want to go today? How many hours do you want to drive? Tell us when you want to stop or when you've had enough. They're friends that care for you. They're looking for you. They're looking after your interests. They worry and they care for you. And later, when we'll stop or we'll sit down and have a few beers or round a fire, go over the pub, The guys would be taking the piss out of me, having a joke. But you can actually feel the love there, the caring, that we all take care of each other. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So to me, it's so important to stay close to. I know I would be a lonely man without my friends, but having them in my life makes my life so much more enjoyable, and we're always doing things. We've always got something planned. I mean, a couple of weeks' time, I'm off to Bali to Uncle Pete. Spags rang me the weekend and said, oh, there's a music festival coming up in May. Do you want to go? I said, of course I want to go. But what else are we going to do? Never say no. When you get an opportunity, do it. And stay close to your family and friends, and you'll have a good life.